Welcome, it's Alex here, and today we're gonna be taking a look at Dane Whitman, aka Black Knight from 2018's Cull Obsidian Build-A-Figure Wave. And today our intro is gonna be a little different since I got this figure back in the box just without Cull's Build-A-Figure part. I have the box right here, it's just that I went ahead and opened it up even before filming because the excitement got the best of me after being able to cop this in the wild. Went ahead and played a bit with its articulation and stuff, but of course we're gonna talk about my findings later on. First, we gotta do the character introduction and we'll proceed as per routine, so let's get going. Black Knight is the mantle passed down from generation to generation, which started from Sir Percy of Scandia during the time or reign of King Arthur. Sir Percy's death at the hand of Mordred began a string of succession to all of Sir Percy's descendants. Fast forward to modern times, before the mantle of Black Knight was passed down to Whitman, Whitman's uncle Nathan Garrett donned the mantle first. Becoming the villain Black Knight 2, the mantle was passed down by Garrett to Whitman after being mortally wounded by Iron Man, atoning for his misdeeds, and asked his nephew Whitman to restore honor to their family legacy, passing down the weapon that he used for his crimes, the Ebony Blade. Let's check on the box first. We have Black Knight's mighty fine artwork on both sides. Here's a look at the bottom. Here's a look at the top. Build-A-Figure, Cull Obsidian, then Avengers logo because of course BK is an Avenger. And then here's a look at the back with all 6 of the characters to build Black Dwarf, BK being the 6th with Black Dwarf's right leg, which this purchase doesn't come with. And then we have another mighty fine pose of BK here. And then his bio, which says an expert horseman and superior swordsman. Black Knight has a checkered history as a powerful combatant with no clear allegiances. And finally, let's go ahead and take a closer look. For Black Knight's accessories, we have a pair of extra heads. The modern Black Knight head sculpt where he was wearing a leather bomber jacket. Nathan Garrett's head sculpt as the Black Knight 2. And of course, the Ebony Blade. And then for Black Knight's aesthetics, Black Knight is using the same body mold as almost all of the goblins ever released. If you've ever owned any of the goblins, King Cobra or Dread Knight, you've mostly seen what this mold has to offer. We already know what to expect. The things that are unique to this mold or figure specifically are the 3 head sculpt and I guess the Ebony Blade. For the main head sculpt, I did get a minor paint fading right at his nose, which I find a little annoying, because it's kind of obvious even if you're looking at it from afar. Here's how he looks as Nathan Garrett, and here's how he looks with his 90s head sculpt, even though the more accurate look for this head sculpt is the one that's wearing his very 90s leather jacket. The Black Knight's crest on his chest appears to be clean enough for me, except for some kind of line that looks like a mold or paint error, which is more tolerable compared to the nose fade that I mentioned earlier. Next, here's a look at his back without the cape. Paint's continued all the way here, even though you wouldn't really see it most of the time because of the cape. And then here's a look at his cape. The scales on his arms and legs are similar to that of a chainmail's texture, which looks really great in metallic dark bluish silver. The cuffs of his gloves appears to be removable, so you can go ahead and remove those if ever you wanted to. The belt and crotch piece is a one-hole floating piece. Then we have the bucky cap, parrot boots, and tiny feet. And then peg holes at the bottom of his feet. Before we start the articulation section, my copy did have some floppy elbows and lower body. I got this from the secondary market, so the person that sold me this told me that he only used it for display and just took the Cull bath part, then put it back in the box. We really won't be certain about that, but as long as there are no broken parts or joint issues, that's okay with me since I really don't play with these and only display them. Point is, be always careful when buying figures online or in retail, especially if you are very particular when it comes to your action figures. Now going back to the figure, his head is sitting on a disc hinge and ball peg, so we'd be getting the standard Marvel Legends head articulation, which can look up really far and down. Of course, we have some very nice head tilting and head rotation. His arms can rotate, and that's a lot of clicks. Unfortunately, Because of the large shoulders, his arms can only raise this high. And then we have bicep swivels, double jointed elbows, really floppy elbows. Both hands can hinge up and down and rotates as well. Black Knight's ab crunches forward, can go ahead and lean back. We have waist twist that is well hidden by the belt. Black Knight can split this far apart. Of course, he can kick forward, can kick back a lot. We have thigh swivels, double jointed knees, pirate boot swivel, can hinge forward and back, and has a forward facing ankle rockers. Next up, Black Knight stands at a little over 6¼ inches to the top of his head, and then about 6¾ inches to the top of his helmet's pointy ears. And then here's how it compares with Marvel Now Captain America and Wavemate Ant-Man from the Cull Obsidian Build-A-Figure Wave. There's my review for the Marvel Legends Dane Whitman, also known as Black Knight. What I liked about this figure is that even though this mold has been used many times over, since I only got one goblin, which is the one from the retro Spidey wave, and oh, I have another one which is a partially completed demo goblin, I still find this mold very appealing. The use and execution of the pseudo chainmail works very well and looks great for the character, especially since he is a knight. This may be nothing new to most veteran Legends collector, but this mold is fairly new to me, which is why it still impresses me. The one thing that I didn't like, not just specific to this figure, but specific to this mold, is the overly large shoulders, which limit the range for raising his arms sideward, where if you force it, you risk messing or worse, chipping the scuff of the chainmail on the shoulder area. And the floppy joints that I mentioned before the whole articulation segment, but other than those, I really like the execution of the figure in general, and he will be in the upcoming Eternals movie. Thanks for watching my review for Dane Whitman, also known as Black Knight. Please click like if you like this video, subscribe if you like watching Marvel Legends action figure reviews and other stuff, and as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.